Hellraiser is the film series that started in the 1980s. It was made by Clive Barker, the person who also wrote the book the movie is based on, A Hellbound Heart. Now, the first one I consider to be a horror classic, and it's great. I like it. We'll talk about it in a minute. The most recent one is Hellraiser Judgment. I've not watched it, but the one before that is the one we will talk about after we talk about the first one, Hellraiser Revelations. This movie right here that I'm holding in my hand is going to be the main subject of the video. It's where the meat of the video is going to lie. I will touch on the first one, explain why it's good, the plot points, why I like it so much. That is important to understand why this movie, I hate it. I hate it. It's not just a bad movie, but it's a movie that disrespects everything that came before it. And it's just so frustrating because it's like, why? I'll tell you why when we get there. This is Hellraiser. The opening of this movie is incredibly vital. I like it a lot because it's in this opening scene, these opening two scenes, I guess, when he gets the box and opens the box. These scenes are vital because it establishes the rules of the box. The box is, in a sense, it's a plot device in a certain way, but I don't see it as that. It's very crucial to the plot, but it is not like a oh, this character's got to do this because he has to. It's more like a, this is the plot of the movie and this is how it works. These are the rules. You watch this and understand. It sets its own rules and it follows its own rules throughout the entire movie, and this box is the reason. It kind of holds everything that happens together, and I really love it. It's great. The way they set it up is great, and the way they follow the rules is great because you understand why things are happening with the box and how the rules work, which adds a lot of depth to everything. All the characters are somehow connected to this box, and it's very interesting. The movie is about a couple who moves into their old house, Larry and Julia. Julia is the main character, sort of a twisted protagonist, along with Frank, who we meet, and he's the dead boyfriend and brother to Larry, her husband.
I'm brother Frank.
You may have noticed that Frank is the man who opened the box in the beginning of the movie, that I explained is very important and very vital to the plot. Now, Frank shows up, and you might wonder where Frank is. Well, some blood spills on the floor, and then Frank comes back, and it's amazing. It's truly something to see. Let's check in. Let's see how Frank's doing. I hope he's good. I wonder how he's doing after he opened the box. I don't know what happened to him. So after Frank shows up, Larry invites a bunch of his friends over for some food and dinner, and Kirsty surprises him by showing up. And they're all sitting at the table, and then Kirsty starts... I actually have to introduce you. I just realized you don't even know who she is. So Kirsty is Larry's daughter. She shows up, surprises him. She doesn't like Julia because they're stepdaughter, stepmom stuff, all that. So they're sitting at the table, they're all enjoying it, and I find this scene really funny. It's Kirsty, and she sees this dude, and this is actually kind of cool. We'll get to why it's cool a little bit later when it actually comes up. And they start making like eye contact, and you can tell there's something going on, but it's so silly looking because it's a silly looking scene. It's kind of funny, but the point is they're gonna bone. That's the point.
Look, you know all about that stuff. I'll call you tomorrow. We'll sue his ass.
Julia gets upset during this dinner. She hears something upstairs. She kind of gets distant to Larry. It's very, oh man, I gotta go upstairs. It's so crazy. There's noises. I'm not interested. I don't like you. I'm thinking of Frank and all this garbage, And she goes upstairs, and then this happens. So yeah, that was pretty messed up. The way the maggots are crawling this place, it's incredibly Christ. Anyway, after this, Julia, she freaks out, and well, Frank asked her to do something. Just normal, whatever anyone would ask in his situation here. Can you go kill people for me so I can suck the life out of them and become human again? And normal everyday stuff.
You'll do it.
Yes. I will.
Did you lock this? Please! See? It's making me whole again. Every drop of blood you spill puts more flesh on my bones. And we both want that, don't we?
So after all this, Kirsty returns home because she thinks something might be going wrong, because she calls her dad, and her dad's like, oh yeah, we're good, but she has a dream, she has a suspicion, she just wants to come make sure everything's alright. So, she comes back, and obviously she gets attacked by Frank. She gets attacked, and it's like, oh damn. Oh damn. Ah. So, that's not good, but she gets attacked, she gets out, and then she ends up in a hospital. What occurs next is one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. It is the introduction of the Cenobites, and it is so cool, and I love it so much. It's incredible. So, they show up, and it's awesome, and Pinhead shows up, and it's so cool. And Kirsty makes a deal to trade her life for Frank's life, because Frank sucks. He's the worst. No one likes Frank. And Pinhead's like, you know what? I'll consider it, but if you trick me...
But if you cheat us, we'll tear your soul apart.
So, she makes the deal with the Cenobites, and I'm going to skip around. I'm skipping a large portion of the end here in the interest of time to get to the point and get to the next part of the video. So, she goes back to the house to see what's going on, and Julia is dead now. Yeah, Frank betrayed her, and then Frank also, before this, took Larry's skin and killed him, so now Julia is dead, and Larry is dead. And now Frank is Larry, essentially, and for a while Kirsty doesn't know, and she's tricked and just arguing, but then she realizes and eventually traps Frank in the room where he was reborn. And then they all come back, and well, what happens next is pretty spectacular.
Frank.
No.
We had to hear it from your own lips. This isn't for your eyes.
You set me up, bitch.
This is just a warning. If you, I haven't really shown much gore yet. I feel like, I shouldn't have to say this if you're watching the video, but I'm gonna say it just in case you're somehow gotten this far. This is a very gory series, with a lot of good special effects, but very, very gory and bloody. And this is probably the most gory and bloody thing in all of the movies. So if you don't like gory and bloody and gross, I recommend you stop watching. You know, just heads up. This is where it gets real. This is real.
Jesus wept.
I love the special effects in this movie. That's such a I love them. I guess little gush moment here. Let's get back on track. Okay, whew, sorry. That scene's so cool and I love it. This next scene is it's actually my follow alert on Twitch for a while, reminding, by the way, follow me on Twitch. But this next scene is basically the end. It's wrapping it up and it shows how the box, another showing how a rule of the box is that you can send the Cenobites back by reversing how you open it. Like you know, you do, instead of doing that, you do that, and then they go back in the box.
We have such sights to show you. No, don't do that.
Go to hell!
I really want to let you guys take notice of how awesome Pinhead is and how much of a presence he brings to the screen and how good Doug Bradley portrays him and how important that is, because you have to understand he's the he's supposed to be like an oh my god, we're gonna die, we're in trouble moment. So when he shows up, it's very important. He has an impact, and he has such a big impact in the movies, and there's such a large part due to Doug Bradley's performance and portrayal of Pinhead. It's fantastic. It's so good. He's so good as him. It is easily, out of all the horror characters, Freddy, Jason, all of those people, it is Pinhead. He's the best one, and he is very rarely used in the movies. Like not any at all, really. He shows up in each movie for a few scenes that are pretty short, but he kills it and steals the show from everything and makes those scenes the best scenes in the movie. This is important due to the next movie we're going to talk about. That's gone. That's just gone. And imagine everything else is also gone. Like editing is gone. It's all gone. Anyway, back on track to this. The movie's wrapping up, and this part's really weird. I just wanted to include it to kind of wrap things up so we can get to the end. After they put all the Cenobites back in the box, for some reason, that hobo dude, did I even show the hobo dude? I think I got rid of him because he's just so unimportant. There's a hobo dude, alright? It's not important. He really doesn't do anything. He just shows up. And he shows up again and he takes the box and he steps, or they try to burn the box, right? So he steps into the fire to take the box out and it's set on fire. And then he turns into a dragon, a skeleton dragon, and flies away. And then the movie ends, roll credits. It's very strange. I don't understand. It never brought up again. It makes no sense. It's kind of strange, but it's cool. I mean, he turns into a dragon. It's practical effects. It's very strange. Like, I don't get it. It's confusing as hell. I don't know why it's here.
What's your pleasure, sir?
So as you can see, it kind of does this, the cycle begins again thing, and the same thing happens. It takes more people. I have a few things I want to talk about. So what I want to talk about is, one, I got a minute with plot points. One, the box rules. They're very important. You can open the box, Pinhead comes, he takes you. Those are the rules. No matter what, he takes you. Those are the rules, but you can fight him back by putting him back in the box. The Cenobites all come, you put him back in the box. Simple. Them's the rules. That's how they work. You are permanently tied to the box if you open the box. 3. Doug Bradley as Pinhead. He brings a huge presence, super important in the movie. He is awesome, I love it. 4. The special effects, incredible job. Love him to death. 5. This story and the characters are very unique and are not, how do I put this? They're not stupid. Everything makes sense. The movie is great. I mean, seriously, it's not filled with plot holes. Everything makes sense. It's very tight. It's not too long. The special effects, again, are amazing. The acting's really good. I like everything. I like the little subtle hints at everything. Everything in this movie is super subtle, and it's great. Like, nothing is, like, shoved down your throat to where it's like, what's going on? It's all very subtle. Except for maybe the end where that guy, I don't know what the dragon was. Still confused. The editing is really good. The music's really good. Everything, I love everything about the movie. I really do. I highly recommend you watch it. Now we're going to talk about Hellraiser Revelations. I don't really know where to begin. It's horrible. Everything I just talked about, positive about Hellraiser, is not, it's absent. Everything, including Doug Bradley, who literally... Doug Bradley was asked to be Pinhead again, of course, because you can't replace him. You literally can't. It's not possible. I don't think, even in the new reboot, I don't think they can replace Doug Bradley as Pinhead. I don't think he can be done again. Like, I genuinely believe when Doug Bradley dies, they have to just never do Pinhead again. I don't know. I can't see another person playing that role as good as he can play that role. Anyway, besides that, this is an example of what happens when you don't have Doug Bradley playing Pinhead. And also, your movie is rushed to hell. This movie had a production... Basically what happened is they needed a new... Remember Fan Four Stick? Remember that movie? What happened with that? That was a bad movie. We all know that. But what happened was they needed to make a movie so that they could keep the rights. This is the same thing, except on a insane scale, because they... This movie was... It's one of the most rushed movies I've ever seen. Like, reading up on it, apparently it was like a month. Straight up a month, movies made. I know, and you can tell because of the editing and everything. It's insane. And oh my god, the characters are so bad, and the story and the editing. Oh my god, the editing. It is the worst editing I've ever seen. Ever. I can't imagine how someone edited this movie together and said, yep, that's good. I guess because they were rushed, but still, it's insane. Because I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, I couldn't figure out what happened. By the end of the movie, I had to, like, think and be like, what happened? And not the good kind where you're like, oh, that was interesting. I better think. Maybe that changed my perception. It was more like, what happened? Because I'm confused. Because that made no sense because of the way you edited it. And also, the way the movie takes the rules that I've talked about with the box and the characters and all that from the other movies, including the first one, but it carries throughout the movies. Subtle changes through the sequels, but they're not major. Like, this one just takes the rules and says, what are those? And, you know, oh, the rule, oh, I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry just thinking about how stupid it is towards the end of this movie. It's insane. Let's get into it. This is Hellraiser Revelations, and it sucks. It's stupid. So let's talk. What is this movie about? Well, it's not about anything. There's no plot. It doesn't exist. I guess the main plot is a mystery where the parents of these sons that go missing, Nico and Steven, that we'll see in a second, they suck, by the way. I hate them. They go missing and they're trying to figure out why, and it's just one of the plot conveniences that happen to make this story work that make no sense, and it's really annoying. And that's the best way I can explain this plot. It's a mystery, I guess, kind of, not really. By the end of it, it kind of turns into a Hellraiser situation, like the original one, kind of, but it's so dumb, it makes no sense, and it's stupid, and I hate it, and it's so bad, and it's not good. I know that I'm just saying that, but I'm going to show you exactly why. I don't think you can fully understand what you gotta be prepared for this. It is, oh my god, level. I can't stress how bad this movie is enough. I know I'm hyping it up only for you to maybe be disappointed, but I don't think you can truly be disappointed by the actual incompetence. This movie was released in a theater, not theaters, just one theater, but a theater still. People went to the theater and saw this. Some people that I'm just have that in your head while you watch this. That's a fact.
This is going to be an epic journey. My name is Nico Bradley, and this is my best friend, Stephen Craven. We're about to get laid multiple times over.
At Disneyland?
You can get laid at Disneyland, but we're not going to Disneyland.
And when were you gonna tell me this?
I was gonna tell you at the border.
The Mexican border?
Yo!
So these are main character. Well, no, they're not the main character. Again, movies all over the place, makes no sense. You think these are main characters, but they're not. Not really. Kind of. To go into Mexico, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna let the rest of it play, and then we'll. Their car gets stolen. The editing here, I'm trying to get through it in my head. So they're here, and it's gonna cut, and you're gonna see it. It's crazy. Their car gets stolen. Why? Because it has to. And then it cuts again, and then they're getting. And he opens the box, and let's just look at. We're going. Let's watch him open the box. It's actually really, really funny and goofy looking.
What the fuck is going on?
Who the fuck are you? What do you want?
The box.
What? Take it. It's yours. Just get the fuck out of here.
No.
Nico!
You opened it, summoned us, and we came.
Came for what? Who the fuck are you?
We came for you, Nico. We are the light in the darkness, empaths to higher sensation, guardians of ultimate experience. And now you will come with us.
What? No, I'm not going anywhere. No! Fuck out of here!
So I just noticed this rewatching it, like, for some reason it uses the same shot of Pinhead like 4 times, and it cuts back and forth between them, and it's a bunch of shaky cam garbage. This is super insane, but the funniest part is the no. You opened your box. And we came. He sounds so goofy, and then the bad acting all around. It's just such a goofy scene. I like it a lot. No, I'm not going anywhere, dude. No, I'm not going anywhere. Who are you? Also, he keeps saying "we" as if there's more Cenobites in the room, but you never see the other ones. So it's just him in this small hotel room. Even though he says "we" like 15 times, it's crazy. It's stupid. It's so dumb. I kind of like the scene because it's so dumb. It's really funny. So the movie mostly takes place in this mansion house. They probably rented it out or something, but it takes place in the mom's view. Everyone pretty much, no, just the mom and the daughter view through this webcam recording thing. It was like found footage type deal. It's very confusing. And they review all the incidents that happened, but it makes no sense because if they saw Pinhead and all the Cenobites show up and do what they did, why would they just leave that with the family? Makes no sense, because it's like, wasn't there an investigation? Wouldn't there be an investigation in missing people? Where they were? I don't understand how they found and got this stuff. It makes no sense. Never explained. Just kind of like, hey, we found it. Isn't that cool? But yeah. The mom does a little funny reaction here. She's like, I'm not looking at anything. I don't know. It's a mess. This movie is a mess, and I don't know where to begin with it, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Can I see?
It's nothing.
The entire movie takes place at night, and in this shot it's very obviously day, so instead of just waiting till nighttime to shoot this with all the people showing up, they decided, nope, just crank it to 100 on the blue filter. Yep, that's how we'll do it. Good, we're done. I'll give it to this though. The movie does have a lot of great, like lines that are just out of context, really funny. Like, I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about it now, and and the no and all that stuff. That's pretty great. There's also this great ADR moment that I would like to share with you guys that is so funny that I genuinely laugh every time. And also, when I was editing this part, I just kind of repeated it because it was just so perfect. It's such a beautiful ADR moment.
You know, I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about it now.
Me too.
Good. I mean, you hired a PI, right? And well, what did he find? You know, why is Mom always in Steven's room? Like, what is on that video camera?
Shut up!
So it's around this point in the movie that you start to notice how bad the editing is, because it cuts from that bad ADR straight into Pinhead's little lair area, which makes no sense because the box opens a portal to hell. It does not open the box, but it shows him as if he's eavesdropping on these people. But that makes no sense because that would mean the box is like you can listen to it. But that's not how the box works. So why can Pinhead hear this? It makes no sense and it's never explained. It's just kind of like, this is what we're doing now, and that's okay. That's what the deal is.
Excellent work, Anna. Maybe she could have.
I'm not a child.
Then why do you feel hateful? An adult would have shown some sympathy and kindness towards her brother instead of worrying about herself the whole time.
You know, save the shrink.
Alright, so that editing was pretty bad, but this is where you it gets nuts. It's just out of this world of what editing. From here on out, the editing is it's either a jumbled mess or it's too slow or both. It's quite a sight to see, to be honest.
Oh, hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Guys, it's Steven!
Alright, so Steven's back. That was fast and convenient. Now, the cars are gone because that makes sense. And there's an incredible... This edit, I'm telling you, the editing is so insane. Then there's an edit that is just, wow, they really just didn't care. This is... Oh. But the cars being gone makes no sense, because you have to, there's two people here, there's two families here, which means, and they live really in a remote location, and you gotta imagine they have like a work car, or at least two cars. They seem pretty wealthy, so I would say they probably have two cars by themselves, and they got these other people home, which means there's three cars, and all three of them are gone. How? Who took them? The only people there is Steven. Did he take all three? How did he take all three? Who did it? How? What? It's not how Pinhead, it's not how they work. That's not the rules. You're breaking all, you're making, it makes no sense.
They're gone. The cars are gone. Shit. Exhaustion, dehydration. We just gotta keep him stabilized.
Now I know what you're thinking. Did I do that? No. They did that. They did that cut. So after all this, Steven's showing up, the car's going missing. This guy, this dude is like, thanks to ask this genius question. This guy, let me tell you, he watches Rick and Morty.
The highway in the morning. It's too dangerous in the dark. You really think someone's out there?
No, I don't think anyone's out there. I mean, how'd the cars leave? I honestly think the only people that are out there are the writers who took an eraser to the paper and were like, the cars are gone. They're not here anymore, okay? Just moving on. So dumb.
Do you have a gun? Yeah.
What?
So, I have a gun. Now, that's important. And they cut right back to the Hellraiser classic, you know, the pit of the doom, the box, I guess. I guess in this movie, they're literally inside the box, so. And then he's making a new Pinhead, Nailhead maybe? Whatever you want to call it, and they have like a weird orgasm thing going on. It's a dumb scene. It's kind of funny though. So we're gonna skip through a very long stretch of this bar scene that is very pointless. They go to a bar and they flirt with a girl and make stupid jokes for about a year and a half. I think they also get the box in this scene. I honestly don't remember it. I don't care because this was so boring and so unimportant to the plot that I literally cut it from the entire video because it was so pointless. The point is, they do all this and then they get the box. Man, there's a lot that happens that is just so unimportant. It is incredible. But then it flashes back to that scene, you know, in the beginning where he got attacked by Minhead and now he's dead. Now it's the other friend, Steven, is banging a prostitute, and then this happens. This is so dumb that I hate it so much, but it's so stupid. I have to show it to you. Just, oh my god, it's so so Nico just starts talking to him through the box, and oh it's so embarrassing and silly. Okay, just watch it.
Kill her, Steven. I need blood. Help me!
Stop!
Help me, Steven! It's the only way! Kill her!
Get the fuck off!
Steven! Her blood brought me back! Bring me more!
Wow. Okay, so he talks to him through the box and tells him to kill him, and then he just does it. Because that's what bros do, I guess. I guess, because in the first one it made sense because it was like they were in love, and that's kind of, they were both like that. It made sense. They're just dudes being dumb. Like, it makes no sense. It also makes no sense that he's talking through the box. The box is, again, it's not a capsule, it's a gateway opener. It's like a key. I don't understand how he's talking to him. It makes no sense. So you remember how in the first movie that it was I was talking about how it was very subtle, and with the desire stuff with the main character with Kirsty, how she was like, oh, she can open the box, she obviously wants to do the box stuff, and it's like very subtle, and you can kind of argue each way. Hey, hey, maybe she's not, maybe she is. I didn't really get too much into that, but I wanted to leave it a little vague because if no one's seen the movie before, I do encourage you to go watch the original Hellraiser. But besides that, look at this movie's subtlety. It's so subtle. You'll miss it. You won't know she desires to the box. You'll never guess it. It's impossible to know.
You have to desire it.
Oh, I should probably mention that the person, the Steven and the girl, they're brother and sister. So that's. Oh yeah, you remember that hobo guy I was talking about earlier, turned into a dragon, stood in the fire, all that? Yeah, he's back.
Anyone else out there? Huh? Any other motherfuckers? Come on!
Get back inside! Close the door! Peter! Peter!
Somebody tell me what's going on!
This guy is my kind of shock to you guys, but he's dead. Moving on to the next part, literally the next scene of the movie, we're greeted with this.
I'm guessing you're all a little confused right now.
I could not have put it any better. I am. Sure. We're all confused. I don't know why you shot him. Makes no sense. It's so dumb. It's like this movie is trying to just have stuff happen for the sake of something happening, because the entire movie nothing happens. So I guess they were just like, we have to have things and plot and stuff and boom. His delivery in this entire scene is so good. By the way, I love it. It's so horrible and in the best way. I think we're all a little confused right now. It's great. I love it. So now we get an exposition dump explaining what's going on. So basically, it's the exact same thing. Nico had his bro dude kill all these people so he can come back, and then he betrayed him and stole his skin. Now why? Because it's stupid. Also, he left the box. That's the one thing I don't understand about this movie. You have the box. You're safe. You don't need to do anything. But later in the movie, he deliberately has the box opened. Why? I don't get it. It's so dumb. It makes no sense. If he just doesn't open the box, he's totally fine forever. It makes no sense. Oh my god. Why don't you keep the box and hide it and carry it with you and keep it safe so that you do not get caught? Oh, holy Christ. It's so simple.
I've given you the shirt off my back.
No!
It's not the shirt off your back that I want. Steven? Steven, is that you?
Steven!
Human names, human memories, they have no place nor meaning in our existence.
So now this is really where the movie just says, you know, all those other movies, forget them. They make no sense. They're dumb. We're making our own rules. One, why? Alright, so to clarify, Steven did get in there. He opened the box because for some reason he left, even though he should have been totally dead. Makes no sense. That's stupid. But what's even dumber is he says human names have no meaning in our existence, even though in the second movie, absolutely they have a meaning and a purpose, because in the second, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the second movie, let me tell you, huge plot point revolves around human names and stuff. Let me tell you. Another thing that makes no sense is that why did you open the box? 2, 3, why did he make Steven a Cenobite? And how did they instantly recognize him? And also, why did he want it? Because he seemed pretty adverse to it. It makes no sense, like, at all. The character traits just don't meld. It's not clearly presented. It's very annoying, and I'm gonna keep complaining about it because it's so dumb that he randomly is just, oh, I'm desired, I'm opening the box. It's stupid as hell. And this next part, this is the one that irks me the most. This one coming up.
No one gets to kill you but me, you little fuck.
Thank you.
When this existence ceases to fulfill, we will be waiting.
Pinhead randomly killing people is so dumb. It goes against every rule. He only kills or takes people who open the box. There's even in the second one, a girl opens the box, but does not desire to open the box. So you know what he does? Nothing. He says, nope, not this one. Nah, we don't need that. We're gonna go. And then he leaves. him killing this person is so stupid. It's so pointless, and it shouldn't have been done. It makes no sense for the character. I don't like it when characters are just ruined like in an instant because you felt like killing someone for gore. It's stupid. That was dumb. Then they kill the mom character because Pinhead has like this deficit of flesh thing. I didn't show it because like it's so pointless. Because it shouldn't have happened. She just gets dragged away and changed, and it's really lame, and then he dies, and then we get a shot of the girl desiring the box. Like, it's so not subtle and in your face, and it's like, and also, if Nico gets shot, right, he gets shot and dies, so what? It doesn't matter because you will still be trapped in hell. That's the point. It's not your body, it's your soul, it's your being forever. You die. I don't get it. I hate it. I'm done talking about it. I'm just gonna end the video here with a review from my boy. I don't know his name, but it's a great review. It's a great review. I found this review and I felt like, you know what? I relate to that. That's the best way to describe this. The review, simply, movie sucks. I go to bed.